Hello, everyone, and welcome to my daughter's room. I didn't intend for that to sound so creepy, but this is, as you can see, kind of a catch-all corner of my daughter's room. It's right in front of her closet, and we have to do a big reorganization since we have a new baby coming in a couple of weeks. I needed to do some rearranging of my daughter's rooms, and they got bunk beds, and I had to utilize this closet for some clothes storage. So this is just a big room and closet declutter for my two daughters, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, who will be sharing this room and this closet. As you can see, it is quite a project, but please come along with me as I go through and clear out this closet, which is mostly my stuff in it now, and I switch it over to be pretty useful, pretty minimal, and honestly not all that aesthetic for two girls. Some of this stuff, like this is obviously the air conditioner, and then behind it we have like the little vent pieces, and then down on the bottom shelf is like our Wi-Fi. So that stuff is staying for sure. And then from here, this stuff we need to find a place for. This stuff we need to find a place for. It's organized well, it just doesn't function for what we need it to function for. This will probably stay, but I'm going to move it up high so she can't reach it anymore. So I got a couple bins here. And, I can't get them apart. And I'm going to put all my craft stuff in one of these big bins and keep it out in the garage. One thing I have a lot of is like scrapbook stuff. And like this is a scrapbook of like my first daughter's birth. And I don't know if I want to still do that. Like, do I still want to do a scrapbook of just one? Does that mean I have to do one of all my kids? Should I do one scrapbook of all my kids together or separate? And like, here's another one. We took a trip to Paris, and so these are all of the photos for it and supplies for it. So I'm like, I want to do this at some point, and I have a grease one as well. But it's in such a easy location, and I didn't do it. This is my sewing box. I definitely want to keep this easy access. Same with my Cricut parts. We'll just move that up. Then we have a bunch of like foam shapes and pom-poms, and we do a lot of crafts with these. But is this the best way to keep them? Just kind of keep them in something that's a little bit smaller? We definitely take these out. Then there's more generic craft supplies. All my paints and puffy paints. My hot glue gun. This one I get into pretty frequently, so I'm going to keep that one. More random craft supplies. More random craft supplies. And then all of the stickers, the letter stickers for my scrapbooks. This was definitely hard for me, going through all my craft supplies and deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. And I've had so much of these supplies for so long, and I haven't done anything with them. So in my head, I'm a crafter. I have a craft closet, but truly I don't actually do anything with these supplies or these projects. I've made Halloween costumes before and done different DIY projects, but that's not who I am anymore. That's who I was when I was a mom of 1 or a mom of 2, and now as soon to be mom of 4. I just don't have the time to be doing little projects like this. I still do a lot of homemade things, but I focus more on like baking. I do homemade cakes and cupcakes for my kids' birthday parties, and that's more of my focus rather than sitting down at the table for hours doing different craft projects. So as hard as it was to sort through everything, I just realized that's not the phase of life that I'm in right now, and that's okay. I can always get some more craft supplies when inspiration strikes at another time. Again, more like craft stuff, present wrapping stuff, and things like this. But this is like prime real estate for my daughters. And we only have one dresser in here. And so when we're going to be combining two people into one room, this is going to be, I'm going to use it kind of like as a second dresser. So I have this set of three drawer dressers, and then I bought this one, which is like the extra wide. So we're going to use this for clothes that I'm going to put here, and then this maybe for like socks and like hats and like bathing suits and stuff. And I can kind of, I'm hoping I can scooch that one over and have them like next to each other here. But first I have to go through all of this. And again, it's just more stuff that I have that for scrapbooking that needs to go somewhere else. This is another little craft thing that I kind of got into called punch needle, and it makes super cute little, like, you use like a embroidery hoop and you do like some yarn. I have a bunch of yarn that's up there, and I was planning on doing this, and I would love to do this. I don't even think this was very expensive. I'll have to see, but I haven't done it in a couple years since I purchased it, and I don't see myself doing it in at least the next year. So I was like, is this worth holding on to? It doesn't take up very much space, but like, I don't know. I'm not the same type of person I was when I first purchased this, and it's okay. You know, I want to be the type of person that does crafting and punch needle and stuff, but I'm not that type of person because I barely even do all the other crafts that I have for my Cricut and my scrapbook. So as sad as it is to say goodbye, I think this is gonna have to go. So this is the office supplies, and we have quite a few pens, and we do not need all of them. Look, this is even empty. Why is this even in here? I have these little like zipper bags here, and I usually just store all of my kids' colored pencils or markers or things like that in it, and I'm gonna do the same thing for mine. I have two highlighters. I think I'll get some use out of these, so I'll keep these and hopefully just like downsize a little bit here, because I still need to find a different place for them. Oh my gosh. A lot of these are like really cool pens. Like this one I used to write my wedding invitations, and I really wanted a green pen, but I haven't used it in 7 years, and if I want a green pen, I'm not coming in here to get it. Same with the silver. I think I used this for Christmas cards one year, and if I want to do that again, I can go out and buy a $6 pen. Okay, so I've got one of just the ribbons. That'll be for wrapping presents, or if I'm like making my wreaths or something. And then I have a bunch of like glue in here, a little bit of paintbrushes in that one. And then here is the office supplies that we're gonna keep, and that's downsized a lot from there. And then a big pile of trash over here. So I cleared this out where the drawers were, and so I have to clear the rest of this out. But I think I'm gonna tackle this stuff. And as I'm going through, I want to talk more about hobbies and how hobbies change over time. So I'll just show off a little bit of my handiwork. So I actually made this wreath. I made all of the wreaths. This was one of the hobbies that I worked really hard on for a couple of years. So this was one that I made for Easter. And it's just a grapevine wreath with some greenery and then different length of the ribbons. And I think it was so beautiful, like Eastery, springtimey. And I kept them all in here so I could switch them out. And this was a wreath that I made when our dog Cassie passed away. We would always put her in bandanas, and when she passed away, I had kept all of her old bandanas and just put this on a little wreath. Obviously, Valentine's Day. And this took forever because I literally wrapped it with yarn. So you had to all the way around the whole thing. I think I should put this up for Valentine's Day. Instead of keeping it in the closet, keep it with my Valentine's decorations. This one I made for our wedding because it was our wedding colors. It's a little lopsided. I feel like it's kind of missing something over here, but and I love this one. Oh, this pieces are falling out. And like another spring one. Ooh, this one's really pretty. They just haven't come out. So the only ones that I don't have in here are Christmas. So those go with the Christmas decor. Another springtime one. These are 2 pieces of decor, but I haven't pulled them out. This is like a little chalkboard that you could write on. This I might move to the shed, but I think I'm also going to donate this. So I've said this before that I wish this house had one more closet for storage. I just felt like there's always something out in the hallway or in the living room that I just wish that I could put away and hide away. And going through everything that's in this closet, I was like, well, I obviously don't go through the stuff in the closets all that often. If all of these wreath and crafting supplies are in here that I never touch, why do I need a whole other closet full of things that I never touch? So it kind of gave me like a perspective shift that I don't need more space. I just need to organize the things that truly are important and get rid of the things that are literally just taking up space and that I don't need in the phase of life that I'm in now. And I've shared declutter videos on this channel before. I decluttered and organized all my kids' toys in their other closet. I did a big garage clean out. I did a kitchen clean out. I haven't posted that video yet, but that's to come, as well as I'm doing a big organization and toy declutter in my 2 youngest rooms. So there's definitely lots more declutter content to come. So subscribe if you want to see some more chaotic decluttering, as well as just what it's like to be a mom of 4 and a family of 6. I'd love to have you stick around and see what the life of the Troxels is all about. So the 2 things I want to point out up here, some more scrapbook stuff. Like this is actually Eric's baby book. So I have a place. I've already gone through a bunch of his old photos and stuff. And so I will put this in the closet with all of that. More scrapbook things. $6.99, $5.99. Like I can buy that again if I really need. Maybe I'll put this in the garage with the other spray paint. But along with the wreaths where I don't find myself making them anymore and that stuff's been in there for years and I haven't touched them. I would love to make a wreath, but I'm not going to come in here and search through a bunch of like leftover stuff to do it. I would go out to the store and buy exactly what I wanted and make exactly what I wanted for whatever project and whatever wreath that I wanted to make. And then I have a bunch of stuff saved from like college and all these old t-shirts that I want to make into one of those like t-shirt blankets. And this is one of those projects where it's like not that difficult. It might be like kind of time consuming. I have a sewing machine and I want to have already done it. I don't want to have to go through and do it. I want to just have the end result where all of these t-shirts are in a blanket instead of in this bag in my closet. So I'm going to hold on to these, and this is definitely a project that I would do in the future, and then I can cross it off my to-do list. And the scrapbooking is definitely the hobby that I think I would pick up the most easily. So, and those are like sentimental value. So those I'm going to keep and move into the shed. And this I got to move probably into my closet. So it's ready when I have the time to do this. All right, ta-da! This is all cleared out now. So it is another day. It is in fact weeks later, still pregnant, but trying to finish up this closet. So I've just been leaving it with like the curtains closed and kind of seeing how I feel, where do I wish that I had stored some of this stuff. So today I'm going to move the hanging clothes in here and kind of go through and declutter some of those, as well as see what I can put into those plastic drawers. I've realized that the girls get into this closet a lot, so the things that are in there need to be for them, or things that I want them to get into, like not craft supplies, not markers or glue or scissors, you know, things like that I don't want them to have full access to. So, you know, my pack of sticker books that was in there is now no longer in there. And the hard part is these don't have real doors. It's just curtains. And it had real doors on it at some point and we got rid of them, but we can't put them back on because we got rid of them. But also with the TV hanging here, they were bifold doors and it wouldn't work with the TV. But in the other room, they have sliding doors on the closets with baby-proof locks on them, so they can't get into the closet. This one obviously can't baby-proof a curtain. So I just really have to think about the best way to set this up for them. So I think I'm just gonna focus it being on like clothes and blankets and things like that. Okay, so I don't think there's not gonna be any room unless it's something really short to hang on that one. So I have like, these are Brooklyn's, these are Maddie's, and then this box here is gonna be board games and little games that they could play and have access to. And then I don't care if I lose all the pieces. I actually have 2 of those bins full of board games. So one I'll keep in there and then one I keep over here on the dresser. For down here, these are the little dresser drawers, but they don't open all the way because they're behind this wall. So I right now just have it with like the pillowcases in it. And then these are all the spare sheets. Down here I have their bathing suits, which I don't mind if they get into. And then I have this one blank, empty. And these are gonna put the little like baby blankets. And it's like baby blanket, but it's like the blankets that they play with their baby dolls blankets. More so than one that's gonna be for like a human baby. Okay, I figured out what I could put in these drawers. I have these piles of clothes that Maddie has outgrown, but that I'm gonna keep for Brooklyn. This is a bed skirt. So we don't even have that bed anymore. So I have these 2 drawers over here, and these are the clothes that Maddie has outgrown that I'll pass down to Brooklyn when she's the right size. A lot of people, when they do like hand-me-downs, it's like gender appropriate, like, oh, this one's, you know, boy versus girl. And I've also had the issue where one is born in the summertime and one's born in the winter time. Their 6-month clothes are out of season. For my first, her 6-month clothes was in the winter, and with my second, her 6-month clothes was in the summer. So there wasn't a lot of like overlap on the hand-me-downs. But what nobody talks about is the difference of style in your kids. And you're like, she's 3. How does she have a sense of style? They absolutely have a sense of style, and they have a preference, and they will let you know it. You know, my first daughter, who loves her big twirly dresses. My second daughter does not share that same love. First you have to worry about gender, then you have to worry about season, and then you have to worry about style, because Brooklyn would love a stack of t-shirts, not so much a bunch of dresses. She'll wear them, but not as much. This is sheets, a change of sheets for the beds. These are like blankets that they can use for like their babies or like a spare comforter. This is the bathing suits that we have that are clean. These two are going to be Maddie's hand-me-downs to Brooklyn. And then this one is actually just pillowcases for the sheets. So the last thing I'm going to do is go through this bin, which is all the different shoes. And they're not like the shoes she wears every day. They're like her pool shoes and like her slippers and stuff. And I had it over here next to the toy bin, and it just gets like stuff in it that's not supposed to go in it. It kind of, when they're cleaning up their room, they kind of use it as like, this is where all the toys go. So I think I'm gonna put this inside the closet up high, and hopefully we can keep it as shoes, not as toys. As much as I wish I was the type of mom that can do all the craft activities, I also wish I was the type of mom that could get a project done in one day. I could barely get this done in 2 days, but that's just the truth about it. Sometimes you just have to work on a project when you can and chip away at it, and a little bit of progress means that the next time you get started, there's a little bit less to do. So I am happy with how this turned out. Before, it worked for storage for what it was before, but it wasn't useful. There were a lot of things in there that we didn't need, and now there's room to expand, room to store some toys and some games, room for my daughter's clothes in the room that they're actually sleeping in. And you know, it's not aesthetic, but it's practical and it's real life, and I'm proud of the results. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Life of the Troxels.